Okay. We good? All ready? All Gucci?
Yeah.
Oh my god, the guy at work calls there's an old man who orders chicken gnocchi soup every Wednesday. He orders chicken gnocchi soup and he calls it chicken Gucci. Okay, I'm done.
Concordis. 5 threads can weave a hell of a story. Together, they make a fabric of narrative. Much like the weave, which holds magic like a tapestry, our story is a banner. A symbolism of what, I don't know yet. But as each thread of the weave is as magical as one another, each thread we pull today is equally as important. Last session, we were left with 6, possibly more, threads to pull on, directions of the story to follow. So, as we follow individual people, we'll see what threads get tugged at. Ravafina. Former sailor, former adventurer, full-time noble, and soon-to-be head of house. So many tasks at hand. What will take priority?
Well, I think probably going to the tavern in Valor Square. I think realistically, if I know there's a connection there to my father, I should go there. I should go there first, and then if that still doesn't lead up to anything, then I should go talk to Tyrion. Oh!
Okay.
Fire in sync with the fucking dreams, dude. So scary.
So, you make your way out of the Leodon estate, carrying a lot of papers. I'm assuming you have Azriel's bounty hunter forms. I assume you have...
Oh shit, yeah, I gotta go to Viren anyway, so yeah, I have his bounty hunter forms. I have probably like some of the recent reports from those few months or so back of like the missing people and the random shit there. And then what the fuck else do I have on me?
I assume the clue or the handwriting about the Valor Square. The
So true.
tavern in the Valor Square.
So true. Oh, I also want to have a little piece of note paper that's kind of like torn off that just says "Look for tutors."
Yes. All right. Ravafina, you leave the Leodon estate. Behind you, buildings growing smaller as you pass by Gooseberry Garden. With Valor Square in your mind, and remembering your father, you remember all the outings that you used to have with him. It's no secret that your father was a little bit more lovey and parenting than your mother, and actually took you out to do stuff. But particularly a scene in which, in Gooseberry Garden, you guys are chasing a duck around as it's flapping its wings every time you get closer, until your father sort of teaches you to slow down, breathe, and take it all in. And it's a sort of reminder that even in these stressful scenarios where you are consistently being put under pressure and carrying things on your shoulder, just take a second, breathe, slow down. Don't look at me like that. Push forward. You're going to Viren first, or you're going to the tavern first?
I hit up the tavern first,
Okay.
just this way, because I gotta go to Viren anyways, so I should probably go tavern, see if I can pull up anything there, and then still, no matter what, I'll have to go to Viren. So if I don't get anything, then I still have to go to Viren. If I do get anything, I still talk to Viren.
Right. This is still the same day as the day we... Yeah. It's gotta be. So it's still the 32nd of winter. So the 32nd of winter.
I have a question, actually, really
yes.
quickly. The letter, right? It says in 2 days. Was that sent from somewhere else in Solent, so the travel would have been super fast, and I could assume that it genuinely is going to be 2 days? Okay, cool.
Yes, your mother is in Glassridge. She's simply not at the Leodon house and has not been at the Leodon household for multiple days. She's currently in like a essentially like a multi-week council meeting in Lower Glassridge, where she has been talking obviously with your aunt or your metaphorical aunt,
Hey,
and
you know how it is.
the other 3 heads of house. Or actually, it would be your aunt or your metaphorical aunt. 2 more from Lower Glassridge, and then the 2 from that plus your mother. So that's 6. So with the addition of the Gilmere estate and the Buxley estate for Upper Glassridge, Lower Glassridge also has 3. 1, which is your aunt, and then 2 other ones. So currently, your mother's been there for like a while. Didn't even see her when you arrived, kind of. So yeah, you can assume that the letter is completely accurate.
Okay, sorry. I wasn't thinking about it until after last session, and I was like, oh, mail takes time to travel, but word.
Right. With that, you head towards Valor Square. Valor Square is a plaza next to Heroes Alley, and that sort of entire space is occupied usually by returning adventurers from the Adventuring Guild. The Adventuring Guild for Solent, specifically for Glassridge, is not as popular as Alurin. Alurin probably has the single-handedly the most adventurers populating its area comparatively to every other continent in Concordis. But adventurers in Glassridge tend to be a lot more picky, a lot more gauche, a lot more fancy. So as you enter Valor Square, it's not the same sort of rough and tough, rowdy, like, partying that you're used to. It's classical music, it's sort of a chiller vibe, and so finding, like, a tavern, when you gloss over all of Valor Square, it isn't immediate until you see a tavern that has, you didn't assume it was a wine glass at first because it's oddly shaped, but a fancy, almost looks celestial in make, like in design, and it's only a wood burn onto a sign, but it is a quite odd wine glass that you think means that is the tavern.
Slave, well, I guess that's where we gotta go.
Right. As you enter, you see a few figures around you that you probably aren't used to seeing. There's quite a few Fae-looking beings. Satyrs, bugbears, what's that one called? Can't remember the name. But there's a lot of Fae presence in here. As you look towards the barkeeper, you see this... Sorry, let me go find the description. Bum, 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 bum. Their ears sort of fall down in front of their face like a scarf, and their nose is constantly twitching. their fur on their body is sort of calico colored, but without the black. It's mostly just whites and oranges. Sometimes a tad touch of like a deeper brown. But they seem more rabbit-like. The heron gone.
Rowan would kind of, look around at everyone, and then just make her way up to the tavern keep, and she'll probably sit down at the bar actually and wait for them to make their way over to her, as to not interrupt things they might have going on.
Right. Service here is slow. Even though it's not as tightly packed as a normal tavern, seems like everyone here is taking their time. This barkeep actually spends probably 20, more like 15 minutes just cleaning glasses and doing upkeep stuff before they actually get to you. And it probably isn't until you are excuse me, that you catch their attention and they go, "Oh, yes. How may I help you?"
So sorry to bother. It seems that you are busy in a sense. I'm looking for my father. He might have come in here at some point. Deldrak Leon.
I don't remember any sort of name like that coming through. Do you have a picture of him?
Not on hand, but he's got this sort of, last time I saw him anyways, this sort of red, choppy hair. He tends to have some weird ponytail or braid going on in the back. He's usually pretty happy-go-lucky and loud, but...
Is he enough like you?
Something. Something like.
Sun elf, moon elf, star elf, what are we looking for?
I'm pretty sure both of her parents are sun elves, so I'm gonna say sun elf.
Sun elf, red hair. You know, there was... You seem so well mannered. Is this Deldrak Leodon known for going on benders?
Not that I can recall. He is older, though. He definitely has some maturity on his face.
Well, I don't know if we're talking about the same person, but there was I think it was a sun elf. Hair wasn't as long as you're describing, but it was pretty red. But he was quite drunk by the time he entered this place.
Did he happen to have a scar on his face, around his eye?
Yes, he did. But he was talking gibberish, and he kept on talking about how happy he was, and something daughter returning something gift.
Okay. Right. Well, I would be that daughter, and I just haven't really seen him since. I was just seemed that his last whereabouts were around here, so I thought I'd just stop in.
It was months ago.
Right.
Well, might be able to ask around some of the people in the bar here. Quite a lot of my customers are regulars.
Is it? I mean, I wouldn't want to disturb them on there.
I'm sure they'll be fine. And if really they are detestful of your presence, I'm sure you could soothe it over with some coin.
Probably. So true. Well,
So,
thank you for that information. I'll ask around, I guess. She'll kind of stand up and, I guess, truthfully, she'll just kind of pick like the closest person to where she is and walk over to them first.
Rob, what's your passive insight?
My passive insight
My passive insight.
is 12.
12? You don't catch a lot, but you do catch a few odd things. One, never asked you if you wanted a drink, asked for your name first. Two, never once called this place a tavern, other than referring to the bar that you were at. Never called this place anything of like a tavern or.
Wait, he asked my name?
I believe so. Am I remembering
Did
that?
he? Austin, you just yapped
Yeah,
your fucking
you
mouth
can't
with the
fucking-
mic muted.
Well, yeah, I know, because I'm like mouthing things because I'm in the background. I'm not in the scene.
Can't
But
mouth.
the-
things. Sorry. Yeah,
back,
continue.
I
yeah.
was like, I don't think so. I think he came over and Rob just
It was-
asked about her dad.
It was just Rob's dad's name that was mentioned. But I mean, if you go, my dad, the Leodon head, it's like not. I don't think it's impossible to deduce who Rob is,
Mhm.
Either way.
especially for someone who's in classrooms.
Either way.
Right.
Never mentioned a drink. Never asked you other than what do you want? There are a few weird things about this place that are just not like a normal tavern, essentially. That's really all you can get with 12 insight.
Can I roll anything? Can I do anything to think harder?
To think harder? I'd say with your current suspicions, no. But there are few people in here, characters if you'd like. There's a bugbear, there's a satyr, there is a, oh my god, I keep forgetting the name of it. Let me find it first, because it's gonna bother me. I'm gonna lose my shit. Hobgoblin. God damn. There's Hobgoblin. There's obviously a few more like fey looking elves, usually forest elves. And then there is a couple like figures that sort of don't stand out.
I will speak to the bugbear first.
Bugbear first. All right. You
If I was a drunk older gentleman and I'd talk to a damn bugbear, I'd be like, hell yeah.
hell yeah.
Bugbear.
You walk over to this bugbear, and he's actually one of the only people sitting alone. He's sort of resting upon this like sort of like elbow seat of the establishment, and he holds in his hand like a silver goblet, and he's just sort of sipping on it as he tends to his writing.
Pardon me.
Mm.
I was just told by that lovely person that most of you guys in here are Regulus, I was wondering if you'd possibly seen a Sun Elf with red hair, scar, maybe in here a couple of months ago.
And he sort of like turns back towards the barkeep. Looks you up and down. Are you part of the Iron Brigade?
No. I don't think I am.
Sets his cup down.
You cops. It's
Quite
the same
literally is
point.
what, yeah.
I mean,
You gotta tell me if
technically-
you are.
You gotta tell me.
tech-
I have one
technically,
question.
no.
Are you a narc? He sort of picks up his pen. Red hair, scar. A few months back.
Yes, Sun Elf. He apparently came in here drunk.
Yeah, yes, I do remember a figure like that. Came in here trashing the place.
Oh. Anything else you possibly remember about him?
Well, I mean, he came in all drunk. He, was quite happy. Started drinking more. Hanging around some of us. He, said he was partying before he left. To go find something. Something for his, I think it was his kid.
Right. Just by chance, could you happen to remember what it is that he was trying to find? If you maybe, and I know it was a couple of months back, so of course, if it doesn't come to memory, that's.
And he actually starts. He takes out one of his bags, and you see he pulls from it like a chest. And opening the chest, you see like a really well organized like filing system. And he starts going through different months. And he pulls out different parchments. He's like, no, this wasn't that. This was before. Just kind of keeps doing that until eventually he gets to someone. He's like, pulls out a paper. I can't even read my own fucking notes. I was drunk too that night. You know, that guy, real great partier. Got everyone in here to start buying shots. We had a thrasher, let me tell you.
Ruff will kind of look around the place and be like, yes, I'm sure that was a very sure was.
In any case, the only thing I can read from these notes are, Rabbit Glade. I think he was headed to Rabbit Glade.
Rabbit Glade?
Yes.
Well, seems like you might be the most well-organized person I've ever met, so I doubt that anyone else would remember too much more than that.
A few of them might know what he was going to get, but I also don't know if any of them remember him. I'm gonna be honest.
I think I'll probably call it here. I have some other errands to run. Someone who might be able, with this information, might be able to help me out.
What was your name again?
I'm Rav.
Strav.
Just Rav.
Takes out a new piece of parchment paper and begins to write.
If you're ever in need of something, I'll do the best that I can to repay you for this.
Keep that in mind.
Thank you again.
Of course.
I'll actually just take her exit.
What's your passive perception?
Not too much higher. Oh, it's 15!
15.
That's 3 more than 12!
When as you begin to leave, you do hear as there's like a movement from a seat, And there's talking. It's not whispering. I think that was a Ravafina Leodon. I believe so. That's it.
Maybe like as I'm leaving, maybe like cock my head back just to see if I can pinpoint who was talking.
It was just the bugbear and the Haragon.
I'll make a note in my mind to come back here later. Maybe not today, but sometime later.
I'm assuming you're heading to Virenta.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
All right. With that, let's shift focus. Former pirate, former adventurer, full-time tracker, and part wolf. Fell. With your prey gone, what will you hunt now?
So I do kind of want to figure out if there's been any other disappearances that cannot be explained. And there's realistically one place I know that I can get that information.
Right.
So back to it.
Where's that place? Where are you going?
Fight Club!
Just going to Fight Club.
Going to
All
Fight
right.
Club. I don't think we ever gave it a name. So
Doesn't really have one. There's one major entrance to the Fight Club from where you are, and that's in Bleeding Hearts territory. So, as you leave the Leodon estate to go venture on your own path, you take a familiar trail through the woods on the border of the Leodon estate around the sort of small lake that's within Glass Ridge. You remember sneaking through here so many times to talk to Rav. Back then, you sort of fought in these arenas for out of necessity. But you feel different now, moving there by choice. You round a corner near Shatterheart Stadium, eventually to one of the buildings. There's a guard there, obviously, a very large person. You say the password, lets you in. Take a very familiar path of stairs down, and more down. So far that the air begins to feel wet and thick. And you enter a very shady chasm, I guess I could call it. It's a well-furnished chasm. This is a normal chasm. This is a hobbit chasm.
This is a hobbit chasm.
No, it has supporting architecture. It has, obviously the amenities like drinks and food and all that. And of course the entertainment. Large pit in the middle. Iron bars and all the works. The place where you watch people fight. You can hear the sounds of magic whirring and whizzing past, clashing, small explosions in the pit. He pulled out his headphones. Oh, he'll get them actually. Waiting. Just let me know when they're back on. If he can't hear that. I don't know why I asked that. I'm gonna eat a JoJo.
I need to buy new headphones.
Yeah, probably a little
Yeah.
bit.
A little bit. I haven't even shown you the worst part. I.
Yeah, that's rough. Anyways, here the magic, clashing, whirring, whizzing, the whole 3Ws. Sorry. What are you looking for?
In all honesty, just I doing my normal routine now for when I go in there, which is I just start asking questions. I the same ones I've been asking for the past however many weeks we've been here.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of any news? Is there any recent disappearances that you've connected to Arcane? And then, yeah, is there any like unexplained deaths as of recent?
There's this one Lokath wizard you loathe talking to. But he usually has good information.
Well, disappearances. If you're talking about like threat, I mean, recently there's been murders. We're talking about those.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the exact.
Same ones you were tracking before.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I got that one.
What you got? What was it?
It was a fiend.
Friend.
No,
Friend that glass was. What was I doing? Oh,
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Disappearances. Last ones I can think of were a couple months ago.
It's evolving. It's evolving. It's new.
Sometimes I get more air in my lungs. Sometimes there's more water. There's some people talk about this strange circus, strange like carnival coming to Glassridge. Not a lot of people know it. Some people think they're lying. Some people think it's a collective delusion. But yeah.
If you didn't give me good information before, and you're telling me that there's killer fucking clowns, I wouldn't believe you.
I can't attest to killer fucking clowns, but I can attest to multiple people reporting their partners or family members disappearing. Iron Brigade think it was just. Actually, I don't know what they think it is.
This is really hard to keep up.
I know. I've got one more question for you.
What? Yeah.
Was there a location that's like similar that they've all given? Is it in town, out of town?
Probably some about probably like 100 meters off the bounds of the city, out in the sands. People said that they heard carousel music, brought them in.
Well, some of your information is as good as it normally is. Thanks, ma'am. he's gonna leave. He walks quite a bit faster away than he walked
The
to get
Lokath,
to the.
affectionately named Nemo, kind of just muttering to himself as you leave.
Do I hear what he says?
If it was understandable, I would tell you. But
Fucking keen hearing doesn't help, which makes it fucking
no.
funnier.
Yeah.
No,
It really just kind of sounds like.
Man.
Yeah.
What a guy.
What a guy. His
What a
information is
guy.
rarely ever wrong.
Well, time to dip out of here as fast as I can, and as quietly as I can.
As you begin leaving,
Aw, son of a bitch.
you hear a familiar voice call out to you.
No, it's very annoying either.
Fel, is that you?
No.
Come over here.
He's like,
Fel.
don't do that, for one. Fine. It's like, okay. He fucking walks over there.
Before you see Finara, her
Uh.
piercing red eyes peek from behind her scraggly brown hair. She's sort of sitting at the dive bar, leaned up against the bar table. So, what are you doing down here?
I like knowing things. The people down here know things.
That's true. You sure it wasn't some odd sense of nostalgia? You looking to get back into the games?
I already have.
Yes, but I mean really get back into them, not tipping your toes in like you've been doing.
It's like test the waters.
I would say you're a coward.
And I would call you a lot of things.
I'd be
But
careful.
I was always the more polite out of the two of us, which is saying something.
The two of us referencing Rav.
No.
Hmm. You know, I've seen you hanging around with her lately.
Is that any different from normal?
No, I just think it's interesting you're still her lapdog.
So, are you laughing?
Something funny?
Nope.
Well, if you ever decide to actually, put your blood into it, there's a lot of money to be made.
Am I still poisoned? I see that fuck condition on my.
You got a long rest in.
Okay. Sorry, I just saw the condition was still on. I don't know. I'll think about it.
Alright, but let me know soon. The window is closing.
Alright, bye. He fucking turns around and leaves.
You can feel her eyes burrowing in the back of your skull as you leave.
I like cover my hand. My hand.
As you leave, you go up the stairs and up the stairs. Can't help but feel there's a weird thing going on with those creatures down there. Obviously, it's a fight club, a magic fight club, but
There'd be some weird ass people down.
it's changed.
How much?
From when you used to be there, it was a bunch of people rallying together because they wanted to beat the shit out of each other with magic, and then you could make some coin because you were entertaining other people. It's gotten a little bit bigger since then, but that's not the weird part. The weird part is just how, I won't say boring, it's still people beating the shit out of each other, but it's kind of less exciting than when you were doing it.
Is it more organized?
Kind of.
Did I notice any bleeding heart? Any signs of them whatsoever?
Go ahead and give me a perception check. A retroactive perception check.
God. I'm not using my hearing or smell for this, so it's gonna just be a 19 plus 3.
19
I thought I would get better. I thought I'd get up something. It's just a 19. Just barely.
Not a single sign of any bleeding hearts, of any eternal lights. Hell, even some of the smaller guilds that you've seen pop up and leave every once in a while. Which is weird, because even during old Magic Fight Club, at old, MFC,
Oh my god, from now on.
MFC, it would have bleeding hearts, it would have eternal lights, but they wouldn't be like obviously there on behalf of their guild. They were there because they just wanted to
beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, exactly.
No, not one of them.
Not a single one.
That's a problem for another day.
Well, you have information about the sound of a carousel, carnival, a semi-far distance away from Glassridge, and a collective thought that it wasn't actually there.
It's in the dunes. Which is what? How far away did he say it was? 100.
He only said 100 meters. Basically, looking at the whole map of, Solon, it would have been like, Glassridge, Steel Shard are on a sort of plateauish area with a slow rolling, descent from the plateau, like a big sort of, ramp of sand, essentially. It would have been sort of in the middle of the ramp of sand, not too far off from Glassridge, but enough that...
Oh, so it's not even like a mile out.
No.
And he didn't give me a direction, so it's just a mile out somewhere.
I mean, it's not even a mile, but it would be just south.
It would just be south.
Yeah.
Okay.
In relevant terms.
I know what I'm thinking, right? I do it during the day. I feel like all my escapades are at night go to involve.
There is the possibility of trying to find people who reportedly heard carnival noises, but that might require a little snooping into some legal documents from...
Oh my god. And I met a dude that does legal documents recently. Rob's weird little friend that I've only ever heard of.
Mm-hmm. So true.
He's weird. He's a weird little guy.
Don't you hate on him?
I'm not hating. I'm not. You're saying weird is bad. I think he's funky. He's funky weird. I think Talon is funky weird. You don't hear me be
Why are you
like,
trying to
Talon's
ju-
bad.
No one's accusing you of anything.
Bro, it is. Right there.
So, is your next decision to also visit Veer?
Was that who knows?
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Alright.
This is the.
Virian, the person that was working at the.
Do I actually do I know he does legal shit? I don't think I know he does anything with. What was it that he? We went there for something.
You might. You also know you could, break into the Iron Perch. Which would be really funny.
Don't give me ideas.
I will give you ideas. There's the Iron
Oh,
Perch.
you give-
There's definitely people in Glassridge that deal with laws, and there's obviously everyone in the Iron Brigade has homes.
That would be
You could even
significantly easier
you
to
could
break
even
into.
look into Leodon, the actual Leodon estate. You could go back. That's probably your easiest option. Just go back and.
That is probably my easiest option. So
Yeah.
therefore, that is the option I will take.
All right. Fell goes back towards the Leodon estate. We will shift again. Isaiah. Any writer can craft a story, but our flickering, decadent author searches for something much deeper. You've heard the laughter. Where's the joke?
Isaiah is sitting alone in his room, attempting to write his manuscript, running over the events of kind of what got him to this point. And as he's writing down descriptions of these fearless adventurers and their grandiose power and immortal attitudes, he can't help but think about it. This creature that he saw in this warehouse, it made him so uncomfortable. Not even the fact that it was near him, the fact that it existed. And it just kind of eats at Isaiah more and more and more until, for one of the first times in his life, he feels like he has writer's block. And he can't write about anything else. And so he finally, in a rage, throws the series of papers, of drafts that he had on his desk, and they all scatter around the room, and his hair lights to a bright fire before he calms himself and says, "Fine, I'll figure out what the fuck you are, and I'll come back." Isaiah has the sage background. So when I attempt to learn or recall a piece of lore, if I don't know the information, I often know from whom I can obtain it. That being like a library, university, or another sage. Or my DM could be like, actually, it's unknowable knowledge and you have no idea.
As you leave the room, papers sort of like land down on the floor as you shut your door. Pages and pages. You didn't even realize you were writing. The smile, the laughter, drawings of the creature and its terrifying face. You know a few places to get information. One, you know Feld knows something about this creature. He was the one tracking it. Two, you know now that the Iron Brigade had been looking into it, because you saw the reports that the Iron Brigade, were like, hey, wow, warehouse on fire. Also, this strange, it didn't say anything about the body. The body wasn't there. But the other reports in, the newsletter has been like, currently investigating murders, blah, blah. And you can put 2 and 2 together that the murders were caused by this creature. There are libraries. There's the Blueberry Library in the Eternal Lights territory. There is a library in the Leodon Estate.
I think I'm probably going to a library. I'm trying to find some collection of myths or legends of horrific creatures. Maybe a curse of some kind put on a land or something like that.
Alright. Go ahead and give me a... We'll say this is... Yeah, we'll say this is a history check or religion check.
History's so much better for me. Just to make sure I have taken a long rest, correct?
Yes.
Good, because I had 11 hit points and no spells. History check. Do I get any cool things? I'm trying to see if I have any super cool bonuses I can add to this. I don't think I can. So I will just roll one. Here we go. 8 plus 8 for a 16.
16. You're scanning through these books. And yet nothing you read about, whether it's, old gods, eldritch beings, fairy tales, and stories, horror stories about creatures and terrifying monsters and everything like that. You're just not getting anything that really captures the true horrific essence of what you saw personally. And you know what? It's kind of unfair, because you experienced this creature of horror in real time. There was something about it that can never be captured by the page. It's actually kind of something that you want to challenge yourself as an author, to capture something as horrific as that through page. But alas, scanning through books and books, you get to a book that describes the Abyssal Plane. This Abyssal Plane is one of shadowy, unkept, horrific creatures. More so than the Shadowfell. The Shadowfell is a place of melancholy and sadness. The Abyssal Plane is a place of horror and the unsettling. It's important that this distinction is made, because while the Shadowfell is meant to be a subversion and antithesis of the Feywild, the Abyssal Plane is the reflection of the Celestial Plane. Which is odd, because people would think it's the Hells, but... And on the Abyssal Plane are creatures that almost feel like the one you saw. Not exactly like it. In fact, none of them actually capture the same description as what you saw. But The sort of the essence is there. The laughing creature was encased and enshrouded by this dark energy that sort of made it hard to see, and even when you could see it, there was something that pulled you in and really controlled your feelings magically. This was not a creature of the mortal plane. Which leads you down a rabbit hole of looking at demons. And you can probably confidently say that this creature is demonic. Not devilish, even though really, on the umbrella term, they call everyone fiends. Because the hells are so close to the abyss. But there is a distinction to be made between demons and devils. And this was certainly a demon.
Okay. Interesting. Do I know anything about how demons get to the material plane?
You are aware of planar travel in sort of a really basic sense.
In a very personal sense as well.
Personal, yes. The connections to the planes through the mortal plane are done through weak points. Points where the mortal plane and whatever plane you're traveling to are so close or so thin that they can be moved between usually with some extra force. Usually that force is magical. However, there are ways to move between planes in areas that are not close together. In fact, even the largest gap between the planes can still be traveled by very powerful beings. This creature wasn't necessarily giving off a very strong magical essence, so it either came through some weak spot, or it was brought here by a strong creature.
Okay. Are there any? I'm getting real in depth here. Are there any specific signs, like, will there be like crops dying, and are there any omens of like a thin veil to otherwise bad or like corrupting planes, like the Abyss Hells or Shadowfell?
Demonic weak spots will have a very strong feeling of a sinking heart, and a very strong feeling that you are constantly seeing shadows. Just a sparse amount of movement in your eye.
Okay. Isaiah isn't necessarily satisfied with this, with these findings. He feels like he knows something else, but not necessarily everything.
Right.
I think he's gonna try to make his way back to the warehouse.
Okay.
I'll leave the Leodon estate if people will let me. I don't know if I'm trapped in there or not, seeing as I did
You were
help put their friends to jail.
Yeah, you were instructed to stay inside. However, the guards within the Leodon estate are not particularly great at their job, as we have seen recently.
Gotcha.
By leaving the estate, you just see, some guards at the front gate go. See ya. Goodbye.
Alright, seems like all you need is some confidence. And Isaiah will continue towards the warehouse.
Alright. Next, our mysterious bounty hunter with a past unknown. What to do while your prize makes its way to Alurin? Azrael, what would you like to do?
What all is in the Leodon estate? I just want to explore and see if there's anything. Like, I'm not gonna go pilfering through anything, but I'm definitely gonna be nosy.
Right. I'll give you what I know for sure is in the Leodon estate, and then I'll have Rav or Rowan describe any extra things that, Rowan thinks there's also there. For sure, there's a grounds in the courtyard where you see a training area that usually, you can see one of Rav's brothers frequent. Theron practices there a lot. There's a huge library, large dining room, obviously everybody's rooms. There's multiple studies, a few of which seem to be used by very high up people in the Leodon house. You can assume Rav's mother and father. There is a bit of woods behind the estate. There's a house off the side, connected to the wall that is where the guards sleep and train and rest. Yeah, Rowan, any other things that you like to imagine?
There's not, for the house being so large, most of the rooms seem to be made for having guests or study areas. So there's a few rooms that I'm sure you'd enter are basically just empty rooms with what seems to be a desk in them. A lot of the house when Rav was younger was built around the idea of keeping Lilith's 3 kids here. And so there was entertainment, but the entertainment was the library, or to go to the kitchen and try and make something. A lot of the outside world was not, well accustomed, so their outside world consisted of, the training grounds and the gardens that they have on the estate. And now, since most of the kids are older, like I said, most of those rooms, there's probably 4 or 5 rooms that you'll enter into where there's just a bookshelf with no books and a desk with dust over it. I would say the most interesting rooms are going to be probably the 1 or 2 offices that are that are set aside for Rav's mother and father, which his father's is probably going to be when you go to your uncle's house and he has that trophy room where he puts all these football and baseballs that he has signed. That's basically what Rob's dad's office. There isn't a whole lot of actual important work there unless you're wanting to see the regiment for how the guards are trained, which hasn't been followed.
Yeah, nothing that they're really interested in. So they're probably going to leave the estate, despite being... They're gonna go back later, but they need to go, gonna see what shops are in the area.
Let's see what shops are in the area. Okay. Leaving the Leodon estate, you have 2... I guess more than 2 major options in sort of exploring what sort of shops are here. There's the area to, when you exit the right, which is towards the Adventuring Guild, Valor Squares, Heroes Alley. That has shops of low to medium quality, all for you know, mainly where these adventurers come in and out and spend their money that they earn and then leave again. There's the area to the left when you exit, and that's towards, like the amphitheater, the theater house, the house of the unfortunate and forgotten. The sort of like, this is where a lot of people live, and this is where some entertainment is, and you can probably find some stores down there, but they're a lot more niche. Then, you have the option of going up either towards Bleeding Hearts territory or the Eternal Lights territory, and all of them have their own shops as well, of varying quality, but they're not as forthcoming with their merchandise to non-guild members.
Gotcha. So Ezreal's essentially just doing the thing. It's like when you have, like, yeah, you've worked overtime, you got a big paycheck, and they're gonna go see, like, what's in the area. Just a very general, looking for, like, maybe, like, newer armor, might give them a little bit more, just more generalized stuff. So probably heading towards where you had said the guild members just go to spend.
Gotcha. Yeah, tell me, so you're looking for generalized items, or is there anything specific in that generalized area we're looking for? Like, rations, random shit? Or are you looking for more, quality stuff, like maybe upgrading weapons, or, like you said, armor, or, knickknacks of special quality?
Probably just leaning towards weapons.
Weapons? Okay. Alright. There is... Let's see. Where is it? There it is. There's a place within Hero's Alley that you sort of look to. It doesn't seem like a real big deal at first, but then you see, like, some pretty souped up people enter and exit periodically. It's a small shack, no name, no sign, and when you try to enter, the door almost, like, sticks to itself. It's not budging like it's blocked or it's locked, it just kind of doesn't move like it's a wall. But you swear you saw people just place their hand and push through like any other rickety door. Is there anything you would like to do?
I'll probably just go try to check it out, see if he can also get in.
Okay. When you approach the door and you push on it like anyone else has pushed on it, it doesn't move. It's like you're hitting a wall, and it doesn't move like it's locked, or anything like that. It doesn't move like it was never a door in the first place.
What other places are in the area? Is there anything that I'm seeing people do to get in?
They're, from the people that you've observed going in, they just sort of place their hand and push on it like it's nothing. They just move it. No one's like grabbing a handle. They're not doing anything special, it looks like, but they are just moving through it like it's a normal door. But you can give me a perception check if you'd like to see if there's anything special.
Alright. I rolled an 18.
An 18. Okay. There's... Shack is boring, first of all. There's no windows, there's no nothing. It's made out of simple wood and even simpler metal. And you're sort of pushing, you're trying to mimic, you know, you place your hand in different positions, trying to mimic what the other people did to open the door, and you're not really seeing anything. You look around to see if there's even, like, a seam, like it's a door. And as you're looking up, you can see writing underneath sort of like the lip that's, you know, the roof that is over the door. When you read the text, it sort of moves and changes until it finally settles. Let's see. Give me a second. The text reads, "Before the Golden Mountains were discovered, what was the highest point in Concordis?"
Does it ring a bell or anything? Would I know, like, or is it just like a riddle?
It's just a riddle.
Okay. Since there's not anything like specific that they're looking for, they're gonna kind of make like a mental note of this. It's like intriguing, but not enough.
Right. That it's
Where
that
he
you-
will.
yeah.
So he's going to kind of like peek around the area.
Okay.
Kind of like window shop before heading back to the estate.
Okay. I would say if you want to get any more, I mean, we don't really use rations like normal, but if you wanted to get like a different weapon type, like if you're like, man, I really feel like getting a sickle, you could get a sickle. You can pretty much get anything simple. But otherwise, there's not a lot interesting within the Hero's Alley to sort of take. Yeah, you head back to the Leodon estate. And as you do, threads begin to converge. Azrael, you are leaving the estate. Or sorry, you are returning to the estate at the same point that Fell is. And at this point is the same point in which our Fire Genasi Isaiah is also leaving the estate. You all three sort of converge upon each other like this awkward, like, oh, I know this person. And, yeah.
None of us were out.
Nope, not at all.
Nope.
Been in my room all day.
Yep.
Well, I meant to ask you a question. Do you mind if we talk in private for a moment?
I don't mind.
I'll kind of like lead
The two sort of wobble away as you're just watching them awkwardly talk to each other and go, okay, well, let's go talk in private. And then they leave.
Well, I had some questions about exactly what happened last night. What the fuck was that thing? What was it? It's freaking me out.
It's not bad.
Yes.
I wasn't able to pick up too much. I knew it was fiendish in origin.
Abyssal, specifically. It's a demon. I learned that on my own.
Oh, I get it.
Does
it
it
was
have a
hunting.
name?
I don't think I know its name, given time.
Nope.
No, most.
And more importantly, will it come back?
Well,
I did kill it.
not really. We just kind of sent it back. Anything.
So there is absolutely an opportunity for it to come
Crawl
back and haunt me for the rest of my life.
Not a great chance. I mean,
Wonderful. My paranoia has been validated.
Yeah, I think you gotta ask the wrong person for comfort here.
I just want a name, something.
I'm silently plugging in my headphones. God, see that all the case. I'm responding in kind. Okay, we're done. Can you repeat that last one?
I just want a name, something, anything at all.
Unfortunately, I hunted it. I didn't really gather too much on it. But I mean,
why were you hunting it?
Just fucking murdering people, dude.
Like, how did you find out that it was murdering people?
No people.
Well, what the fuck does that mean? Like,
and for one, let's be a little real here. I'm still not the happiest with you, nor do I fully trust you. I know I'm holding a grudge.
Isaiah kind of rolls his eyes at that statement.
For two, the likelihood that it comes back is small. I just know a few wizards who know shit about infernals. Some people study this.
And you point me in their direction.
You don't want to go in their direction. But if you really
I explicitly do. I can't fucking write, Fel. It's laughing in my ear all the fucking time.
Felt like pulls like a different chords that is he just shuffling through. Alright, fuck it, let's go. Come on.
What? Where are we going?
We are going and you're gonna follow. I mean not like you have a choice. You want your information answered.
Let's follow.
Oh, also put this on. And he hands you fucking like a rag and he's like, put it on.
What?
Over your eyes.
Excuse me?
Well, I don't want you to know where we're going.
You know I have the ability to see through walls, correct?
When the fuck did you... Why didn't you do that earlier?
How the fuck did you think I knew that you were in there?
Actually, I never questioned that. Well, this seems redundant. I never said it.
I'll put it on.
Sweet. Thank you for...
We're going to be walking through the streets. I'm going to be blindfolded. I hope
I'll
none
hold
of
your
the god ask questions.
They see weirder shit all the fucking time.
Fine. I'll put this fucking thing on. I'll wrap it
I'm-
around my head.
I'm sure they'll ask a question and just go, what the fuck? We'll be fine. I'm gonna take him to to fuck. What I already forgot what it was. MFC.
Medical Fight Club.
I think-
Azriel, you sort of watch as after this private convo, Fel hands Isaiah a rag and he puts it on and they start leaving again.
like I'm like pushing him by the shoulder too. So it's just it. It looks. Oh,
Yeah, they're just gonna kind of watch them walk out and kind of like under their breath, fucking freaks, and then he's gonna keep fucking walking back into the estate.
Wonderful.
fucking freaks.
Fucking freaks.
Freaks.
Yeah, you start leading Isaiah through the area. You can't take the same path because the same path you go through is a little more intricate and he's blindfolded and would be a little bit harder to guide someone through by pushing them. But you can go through the main roads. Rav. You get to Virian's shop. The appraisal shop, not his shop. I mean, technically it can be his, but... What would you like to do?
So I'll go in, and I'll just kind of like walk up to the front and wait for, once again, just kind of wait for him to apparate around the corner, whatever he is.
After a few minutes, you hear the footfalls of a trepidatious creature as Virian steps around the corner. Oh, hi. Hello?
Hey, so
Hi.
this may seem strange, but, so my father's been missing for a few months now.
Mm-hmm.
So the last that I heard was for this tavern, ? In Fowler Square, which I went there, and they said that he was going to Rabbit Glade. They were super drunk, which, I mean, can't say sounds not like him, but also can't say it's like, he's just one of those guys. But I was wondering if you maybe had, I'm not very well versed in magic or anything. Never could really pick it up. But I was wondering if maybe you had any sort of way to, I mean, I'm sure, no, I can't say I'm sure, actually. I don't know if maybe there's like a location spell or something that can pinpoint or...
Yes, there is spells that can track people down. It's easier when I have something of theirs.
I mean, I can get you something of his.
An item.
His room is probably still a mess.
Item helps. Blood and hair work the best. Well, I can do it just off of description of him as well.
I mean, you've met my father.
Right. I'm assuming he looks the same.
I hope so. We don't age very fast.
Absolutely, yes, I can do that. I'm sorry, I actually didn't know that your father disappeared.
Yeah, I think I get why Mother didn't send people looking, but it also is strange to me that she didn't at least entrust a few people with this information. People that could probably help.
Right. Right, well, I'll gather the things necessary for that. You just... It'll actually take probably an hour.
I can either wait around in the shop, or if you would like, I can leave and come back.
That is up to you. I'll be right back, though. And he leaves for the back of the shop. Takes him about 20 minutes to gather the supplies until he brings them out. By that time, is Rav still there, or does Rav leave?
I would have waited if he said that he'll be right back. Rather would have waited for him to come back around before.
He places a bunch of stuff down, one of which is like this large, it's not a crystal ball, it's not that big, but it is like a baseball-sized, cloudy sort of gemstone. There's a bunch of candles and a bunch of bits and pieces of like stone and paint. He sets everything up, and it takes about 30 more minutes of him painting these sort of intricate sigils on these stones and arranging them in an order and placing that giant stone or that giant gemstone in the middle. Takes out some paper and begins to like write some stuff down and burns the paper over everything like into ash and just sort of spreads it around. Places his hands over the ball and just begins saying an incantation. It's not in a language you understand, but you can assume it's magic words. And the ball begins to sort of glow. And as it glows, it sort of flickers, it grows in light. So do Virian's eyes. It grows bigger and bigger, and the ball kind of turns clear. And you can see it as well. This visage pulling from Glassridge and scanning over the desert towards Rabbit Glade. And it pushes past Rabbit Glade, sort of up the mountain that the waterfall of Rabbit Glade descends. But as it pushes further and further towards the mountain, the image grows more blurry. And as it does, Varian's sort of like he's closing his eyes and he's reeling back. He's muttering to himself. And then he closes his eyes harder and pushes his body forward against the gemstone. And he's trying to like essentially push this image of where your father may be harder. And he pushes it so hard that the gemstone cracks and shatters. And as it does, Virian flies back and lands into the wall behind him. Ugh! Shit! And he clatters to the ground.
Rob will kind of like rush over and like kneel down and kind of look to see if he's like bleeding or anything.
Damn it. His back looks obviously a little bit cut up from the wall, but he seems undamaged otherwise. Ow.
That didn't go well.
No, it didn't. Something was pushing back against the spell.
It.
I don't know what that was. That wasn't magic I have seen before. And he starts to get up. I'm sorry, Rob. I couldn't find him.
That's okay. Fine. Looks like, at the very least, there's a general direction to follow.
Yes. I don't know what's in Rabbit Glade, but it's a pretty small town. I'm sure someone there has heard at least something if your father has passed through it. Guess you could send guards.
I don't know if that would be the best option currently.
sure if you talk to the Iron Brigade, you could get someone to look for him.
Probably.
Again, I'm sorry I couldn't.
It's okay.
Is there anything else you need of me? Any sort of like
Uh,
winces as he moves his back and starts clearing the shit that's on the table now?
Yeah, I have just need a piece of paper to be notarized. Rav will kind of reach to the stack of paper she's holding and pull out Azriel's paper.
And he like grimaces as he reaches down from the desk to pick up ink and a quill, and he puts it on the table. Jesus. Sorry, he doesn't exist. I keep forgetting. And he begins to notarize the.
I like the idea that Jesus is a historical figure that is just no. It just is not.
He's a storybook character.
He's a
Yeah. You know, like they're Snow White. Someone wrote Snow White in Concordis.
Snow White and the Seven Jesus.
Someone wrote the Bible, and it was a big fan fiction piece.
He's a big.
Yeah.
So true.
He, dots a few lines, signs it, and places the quill down. Should be all good.
Thank you.
I'm assuming you have a new friend. Azriel. by the sound of it.
Friend is probably a larger word than I would use, but maybe somewhat of promise.
Right. Well, I hope everything works out. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know.
I will do that. I will. Things are going to become very hectic in the next week for me, so.
I don't want you to go empty-handed, so he goes to the back, again, and you can hear him scrounging around for something. He comes back out. I don't know, I just don't want you to leave without something, so I have an abundance of these, so you can go ahead and take these two. They're just stones that seem to be within them carved faces, and specifically a pronounced ear facing the person who's holding them. They're sending stones. You can talk to people from anywhere, as long as one person has one stone and the other this one.
Thank you. I appreciate this.
Of course. Be careful.
For
If you go searching for your father, be careful.
I don't know if I'll have the time, so maybe my new friend might have to.
Well, they should be careful as well. Whatever was pushing against that spell is foreign to me, and that doesn't happen a lot, other than in social encounters. But
Thank you, very truly. I have to get back to the estate. I left all of those people there with the instruction to not leave, but Belle's in that house, so.
right. Well, have a good rest of your day.
You too. Thank you. Again, once I've done some paperwork, I can probably send a check your way or something just to compensate you for this.
You're fine.
Probably will still do that.
All right. Well, we'll see if I catch it.
and wave. Rob will kind of wave, and then that's it. When she leaves, she kind of looks down at the papers and the notes that she had from, like, leading towards her dad or, like, the missing people, and she just kind of, like, sighs, and shuffles them back under her arm before starting to walk back to the estate.
Azriel, you're back in the estate. Shopping endeavor was sort of uneventful. Is there anything you'd like to do in the Leodon estate now that you're back? And essentially, no one home.
Honestly, not really. They're probably going to do another round just to see if they can find anything interesting. They might be a bit more nosy this time. And in the rooms where, like, Rowan had explained that there's more stuff.
Okay.
Like the desks and stuff, like in the offices, might, like, peek in, see if there's anything interesting. Just generally being nosy.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a investigation check. Perception or investigation, whichever is better, and depending on if you're being a little more, like, touchy nosy, then investigation. If you're being more, like, peeking in the room, just scanning over, then perception.
Alright, I'm gonna roll perception. Got an 18.
Damn. Okay. With an 18. You sort of, like, go into everybody's rooms and peek in a little bit. And it's pretty typical what you see in people's rooms, you know? Something that is a bit strange is that you haven't seen Rethne this entire time. And there's a moment when you're like, oh, Rethne, like, I haven't seen Rethne, this giant, you know, fish person that resides in this place as well, and I've probably interacted with once. Kind of scared of that. And once you start trying to clock that Rethne exists, you do notice that there has been, like, a presence in the corner observing. And it seems that Rethne has been observing people throughout this entire endeavor. Particularly you in this moment. But this is after you discover what else you discover. As you go into the study rooms and you peruse in there, the one for the head of house, Lilith Leodon, is a lot more filled with actual documents and papers and all that, and etc. This is sort of the one that Rav interviewed in, asking you all these questions. The second one, obviously, is for Ravafina's father. And just as Ravafina said, or Rowan said, the room is filled with a lot more, like, trophies and pieces of collectibles and stuff like that. It's a lot less note-takey, it's a lot less record-keeping. But upon entering it, and after looking around, and you're just about to close it, you do see an open book in the corner, just as you're closing the door. And the reason it's interesting or intriguing is because directly where the book is opened is this section of torn pages. And as you go to look at the book, do you look at the book is the question, actually.
Yeah, I'll look at the book.
Okay. The book's cover has no words. It doesn't have a title. But it is of a weirdly shaped continent. One that kind of looks like if you took all of the continents of Concordis and smashed them together. It's not Pangea, Austin. And you go back to the pages that are torn out, and it's sort of describing the pages before and after. It skips a huge narrative section, but before, it's talking about specific ruins, and it's talking about some ruins in Onorex. And then the page after is talking about ruins in Lowland. And scanning through the book, a different section even before that is talking about ruins in Alurin. The only one missing is ruins in Solent. And you're sort of thinking about it. And I don't know, it sticks with you. Something about you being a bounty hunter. This is a weird piece of information to be left out in an otherwise clean room with nothing odd strewn about it. But you don't necessarily know that, you don't necessarily know that Rob's father is missing, but it is a piece of information that you clock in your memory palace. Also, for some reason, Kay's picture turned back into Sharp instead of Isaiah.
Little guest appearance.
This whole time?
No. Oh,
Don't.
What the hell? It's when Kay turned their camera off and it turned into Sharp.
No way.
Maybe just it's reading the instance as my camera off is still sharp in the
It might.
in the display.
That's really funny though.
Oh, because it does. I think it makes a new instance for your camera, which is why it moves on.
That's hilarious.
So that's fucking fun.
And you said this was the office that Rob was in earlier when we were having our little meeting.
No, the one that you were in earlier was the office with a bunch of documents in them and actual papers and stuff. This one has a lot more collectibles, knickknacks, sort of like
Okay.
stuff that isn't bookkeeping.
Is there any paper or anything out? Just something to take like a quick note on.
Yeah, you can find for sure. Like while there's not like bookkeeping stuff, there is like, you know, you can find a book and quill and paper and stuff.
Yeah, he'll take a loose piece of paper and they'll write out like essentially what they found and put it on them and put the stuff that they had used to take the note out on.
Okay.
To keep on them. Also, what did you say about Rethny earlier?
Essentially, throughout this entire endeavor, while you weren't clocking exactly that Rethny existed, especially because you only met Rethny once, really, you hadn't paid attention until you found Rethny's room and you clocked that, oh, I haven't seen this person at all. And when you finally clocked that, you could feel like you were being observed. And you could have sworn you saw Rethny around a corner.
Oh my god. She's in the walls.
She's in the
goddamn walls. Also, about the book, is it like sitting out or was it like put away somewhere where it'd be harder to see?
It was in a little corner, and it wasn't until you were closing the door and you were sort of like scanning the room as you closed it that you were really looking at the corner and saw the book opened on like a little like cubby. And the only reason why it was extra interesting was because it was opened to torn pages.
Okay, so Ezra is also going to take the book, and in the office where we had the meeting with Rav, where we did the papers and stuff, they're gonna leave it out on the desk.
Okay.
For Rav to come back to and find.
Gotcha. Is there any other snooping you'd like to do, Ezreal?
No, they'll just go back to their room after this.
Okay. With that, Fel, Isaiah, you're moving through the main streets, and it's about at the intersection that you first heard the laughter, and where Rav and Rethny saw the fumes of smoke billow from the warehouse. That you notice, and you didn't know this before, Fel, because you took a different route, but there's a lot more Iron Brigade out. A lot. And currently, the Iron Brigade are talking to someone that you saw them talking to before when there was a body in the street. And there's a crowd of people that they're kind of interviewing at this point.
I take the blindfold off. So actually, no,
Oh my.
didn't warn you. Look around.
Are we there?
No.
No, this is the street. Fell.
No. There's something fucking. Why is there so much Iron Brigade?
Probably from the warehouse that we burned down last time.
They can go to
I would imagine.
territory. I don't really do that. Unless it's murder. Which, even then, there's like 2 or 3 of them at best. This is too many.
Well, you're gonna have to tell me what that means.
It means other shit probably happened that we have not seen yet. So we're gonna take a different route. I don't know what the fuck if I'm gonna actually see it. If you come back here, seriously.
Okay.
We're gonna go kind of I'm not gonna like go out of my way to go back to the beginning of my route, but I'm gonna try to intercept it in a way where I avoid the Iron Brigade.
Yeah, you can divert your route, and you're still heading to the MFC.
MFC, yeah.
Okay.
So much better.
Eventually, you get to the building. Isaiah, you now know a path to the MFC. Didn't have to put the blindfold back on. But at the entrance, you see a large bodyguard. You haven't seen a creature like this before, Isaiah. But Fel, you've definitely seen a Goliath before.
Mm-hmm.
And he sort of sits near the door.
Why is that one so big?
Try and kill me.
Does that make sense to me?
Yeah.
Wow. Whoa. Huh. Okay. All right. Well, introduce us, I suppose.
Hey, Roger. I'm just like, I'm not having talent names.
Back here again. Who's the new guy?
Name's Isaiah.
Oh, that's
Hello.
Can you cast magic?
Yes, quite a bit.
Looks to you, Fel.
you can cast magic. Or
I'll prove it. I'll cast Mage Hand. Woof.
He looks at it and just goes. Looks to you, Fel. So you're gonna narc on us?
no.
You gotta think about that one.
No, not really. I have shit on him too, so it's not like it's.
I'm right here.
Fine. Opens the door.
Great talk.
You're not going to meet a lot of targets in here. You're going to get your information. You might have to fight somebody.
What?
Oh,
Where am I?
this
I
is
thought
the
you were
bad.
saying we were going to meet a wizard.
We are. We're going to meet a lot of wizards. You're going to meet a lot of people today.
Yay.
And maybe some doctors. Maybe. Who knows? We might get away without her seeing us, so. Probably not. Alright. Let's get
I'm assuming you go down the.
long ass fucking stairs.
Yes, I am.
Alright. As you get down there, Isaiah, you see the same thing that Fel once saw. It's a chasm well put together with wooden supports. There's a lot of like graffiti and like dive bar aesthetic there. You know, you got the fucking pieces of paper and posters all put up on the same fucking wall and they're overlapping and make a mural of random shit. You've got very shady characters of all kinds sitting at different tables and sitting off at bars. And of course you hear in the middle the clashing of magic as you see this sort of pit cage where magic is flashing and sparking out of.
I'll take a look in the cage.
You walk towards the cage, and you see two figures. One, this scrawny, small, like halfling character, and this way larger Furbolg. The Furbolg is like summoning these spells where roots begin to take from the ground and whip towards the halfling. The halfling's dodging them just fine. And as you watch the halfling sort of duck under each root and slide, they get up close to the Furbolg. As they slam their hands together, this thunderous boom of energy sort of quakes the cage and even where you're standing, and you sort of like catch yourself on like this handlebar, this sort of like guardrail. And the Furbolg launches backwards into the wall. As he begins to slide down, he whips his hand and closes it, and he turns invisible. Halfling sort of scans the area before he makes a symbol with his hands that's sort of like an encompass all motion, and the room begins to fill with this electrical energy. And after a moment, the electrical energy sort of makes this vague Furbolg shape, and you can hear the sound of shocking and a yowl of pain. And as the spell stops, the Furbolg sort of lands on their hands and knees, and you see the halfling sort of like standing victorious over the Furbolg until the furball picks up one of the twigs from that sprouted from the ground, and it begins glowing with energy, and he just fucking whacks the shit out of the halfling. Yeah, he shillelaghs the stick and knocks out the halfling.
It's a whack.
Isaiah will kind of like polite clap.
Oh,
very well done.
You see the halfling takes note of you clapping.
You've been to fancy books all your life, have you?
No, I didn't. I guess I've never really been to a bar. Didn't really spend my time there.
Okay. A lot of these people, they're gonna take you clapping as sarcasm. They might try to fight you later.
Why does everyone want to fight me in here? Phil, I'm
Everyone
built for this place.
No, you're not, which is why I said you probably don't want to go here. But you wanted this information bad enough. So, let's go ask for them.
Cause you're right.
Anyone specific you'd like to ask?
Yeah, well, where are we going? Who am I
Is he still, is he still here?
Oh yeah. Nemo? Of course he is.
Oh, that's fun. Buddy Nemo, we should go talk to him.
Nemo.
Yes. Loving nickname.
You approach this loca.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Wow.
It's kind of like taken aback as...
What, you got a problem, man? You got a problem?
No, not a problem.
Well, that's what I thought.
No problems. I have questions
Well, who the
for
fuck
you.
is this, bro?
Don't worry about who I am.
Did he just hit him with the bruh?
Yeah.
You did.
Who the fuck is this, bruh? What the hell?
I don't think you know what way Nemo was built.
Don't know. Dude, doesn't matter. I have questions for you, Nemo.
Oh.
Okay.
We will answer them.
Well, I don't know about that.
What do you know about the Abyss?
Let's put dark then, though.
That's it?
Looks to you, Phil.
Let's got serious. Alright. Want information? Gotta fight
Yes.
for it.
Why?
Challenge you to a duel.
You should totally accept it, Isaiah.
Must you? Must you?
Yeah.
It's how things will kind of work out here.
I give Phil information because he's whipped my ass 42 times. You seem like a fellow friend of Phil, so... Sorry. So I'll give you the friend discount. You whipped my ass one time.
Fine. Put him up then. Let's go.
No,
No, in
you
the
gotta go to the pit.
coach.
Gotta go to the pit, man.
What?
The pit. You know where you saw the halfling and
Kath
the
stands up and walks over to a bell, and he starts ringing the shit out of it, and everyone turns. and
Get ready.
What's happening?
You're about to go in the pit, man.
The challenge approaches.
I don't want to go in the pit.
You're going in the pit, Isaiah. How badly do you want this information?
I feel like I've
You
been
hear
locked
the
in
wet
something.
slaps of Nemo walking towards the cage.
You gotta go, man. You gotta go over there.
How much of a party foul is it for me to leave right now?
So much of a party foul.
Uh,
The bell is wrong, man.
Okay.
You'll be fine. I've kicked Neva's ass 42 times. You'll be okay.
Oh, I'm kind of getting a. Never mind.
You won't
yes.
die. You won't
Yes.
die. You'll be okay. Go. You got it.
And you see Isaiah kind of like, yes, we're going to win. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. There you go, buddy.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Into the hole. And Isaiah will go down there.
Okay. So this pit is basically big enough that any spell will, target the creature pretty much.
Gotcha.
But it's very deep, so you don't have to worry about spells spilling in and hitting the crowd.
Understood.
Go ahead and roll initiative for me.
I hope I'm good at this.
Back 100 years
Oh,
ago,
hell
they
yeah.
didn't.
21, baby.
Back 100 years ago, they didn't have the net over the pit, and they didn't have the guardrail, so people just fell in
Mhm.
and died.
All right, Isaiah, you go first.
Awesome. First thing I'm gonna do. As Lebo stands across from me, I just point in his direction. Was your mother as slimy as you? I need to make a wisdom save.
Christ.
Fellas up. This is the first time you've heard him hysterically fucking laugh. It's from
Um,
40 feet of fucking air hanging over this guard rail.
17.
Success.
Ooh.
Succeeds against my vicious mockery.
He just kind of stands there and goes, "What?"
Your mother. I bet she's slimy.
I was kind of slimy.
Alright, fell. It didn't work. What next?
Tidal wave! And he fucking slams his hands onto the ground, and he summons a large wave of water, and it just comes rushing towards you. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
As the tidal wave forms and fell from over the fucking raptors, that's next.
13.
Fails.
Fair.
You take 14 points of bludgeoning damage,
Alright.
and you're knocked prone.
Bum, 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 bum.
The arena sort of floods with this like pool of water that's like at your ankles at this point, but like as you're laying down, you're just like kind of like floating a little bit. You can feel your heat sizzling the water around you. Oh,
So that's how it's going to be, huh? And Isaiah is gonna stand up. And I'm gonna look half in the eyes. Greater invisibility on myself.
okay. You cast greater invisibility. You're wreathed in sort of reflective energy. Are you moving? Are you trying to like move around him while invisible?
Yes, I'm definitely trying to like move away from wherever I was.
Gotcha. All right. What do he do? What do he do? Okay, yeah. You just hear him go, huh? Where'd you go? Tidal wave! And he fucking like slams his hand again in the water, and just this wave of water begins pushing towards where you were. Unfortunately,
Holy shit, I love this guy.
you're not there anymore, and the wave sort of slashes against the wall, and it creates like the water is now a little higher in the arena, but he's like, "Did I get ya?"
I say nothing.
Okay. It's your turn.
Alright, I am going to bonus action cast Flame Blade
Oh my god. Okay.
as just in the like it's still invisible.
Yeah.
The Flame Blade, but it's just like as like a burst of flame. Invisible flame emits, and then from behind the Holcath just.
Go ahead and roll to attack.
I am still invisible. Oh yeah, I have advantage because I'm invisible. Oh wait, this is gonna be super funny. Never mind. Flame Blade's concentration.
Break invisibility.
And so is greater invisibility. So I totally just yeah. I'll break concentration on invisibility to attack this guy, but I won't have advantage. It'll be straight.
You fucking appear like Darth Vader. Just like the fucking lights.
14 plus 7 for a 21.
Hits.
Alright, 3d6 fire damage. 11 points of fire damage to the Lokath.
Yeah. That hurts.
I smack him.
He lands face first into the water and just sort of floats. He just keeps
The
floating.
smell of cooked fish.
And from beneath the water, you just sort of hear a...
What was that? Speak up.
And suddenly a splash happens, and he stands up, and he's like, "Make a whistle!" He fucking, from his hands, these like 4 missiles just shoot towards you. 4
Ouch.
missiles. 17 points of force damage.
There you go, Nemo.
He's like, "Hello? Smell of cooked, whatever the fuck you are."
Holy shit! I remember why I like this guy again.
Hey. Thick. Oh, that looks. Oh, but it's. Sure. Yeah. Let's do this. As he stands stands up from the water, I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers.
Okay, let's see, was that?
But instead of it being like this subtle these subtle whisperings that are happening in this creature's ear, I make it sound like the creature that I saw in the warehouse, as it just as it's
being done to me.
chuckles at him. I'm going to bonus action. Well, not bonus action. I'm going to use a fuck. I'm going to use a bardic inspiration to make it a charisma save, because I don't think that this motherfucker's charisma is that high.
Be surprised. Everyone loves Nemo.
Rolling a 10 plus his charisma save,
7.
which he is a sorcerer.
No! You said he was a wizard! You said he was a wizard, Val!
I said we'd meet a wizard.
You said we were going to meet a wizard, and you walk up to this motherfucker.
Well, to be fair, I really thought I was gonna go talk to the barkeeper. The barkeeper was a wizard. Nemo is a sorcerer, because I thought it'd be so funny for you to talk to Nemo.
He did roll really low, so he will use a sorcery point to reroll.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Nemo, you can't
No.
do this to me, man. He rolled 2 2s in a row. He's gonna use another sorcery point. Oh my god! Dude! One more source for Fucking hell, Nemo, you're useless.
Motherfucker, I got nothing.
That's a total of 14.
Again.
14 fails.
Another!
He can't. He has one more left if it does that.
She's gonna take a lot of psychic damage.
Yep.
How many rerolls? No.
This is also not his first fight of the day, so he doesn't have as many sorcery points.
Oh, that's poor buddy.
23 points of psychic damage, and as a reaction, he has to run away from me.
He's staring, looking at you after he magic missiled you, and this laughing begins happening in his ear. He's like, what's going on? And he turns around, begins to run, and just drops dead in the water.
Is he out? Is he fucking out?
And you hear a bell. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Yes, I am crowned victor.
Two people enter the room, and as soon as they open the door, the water begins rushing out, and they sort of just pick up Locath by the arms and feet and just sort of like take him out of the room.
I need to ask him questions. Fuck.
He'll be up in 5. He'll be okay.
I mean, I could heal him. I feel like that. Alright, and I'll walk over to Devo.
Okay.
I'll pump a first level cure wounds into him. I bested you. I bested you.
What is doing that voice?
What voice?
Okay. Whatever.
You'll answer my questions now.
Ugh.
An abyssal creature, how do you kill it? Permanently.
You have to kill it in the abyss. And even
Shit.
then, it's not really a surefire thing.
How do you get to the abyss?
There's like portals and stuff.
Do you know where one is?
Not anywhere near here.
Great.
Any more questions, Conqueror of Nemo?
Oh my god, the title.
No, Nemo. No, there's no more questions.
I guess you could kill an abyssal creature with divine weapons, but I don't know where any of them are.
Nemo, these are the kind of fucking things that I'm asking about.
Yeah, but like, there aren't divine weapons around. I think I'm prudent. I mean, like, one of the 7 legendary swords is a divine weapon.
Which one is a 7 swords? What?
Have you not heard that legend?
No,
7 legendary heroes.
doesn't ring a bell.
The Executioner.
Remind me of the divine one.
Wielded by the leader Valkyrie.
Is this person still alive?
I don't know. A lot of people say that she ascended to the heavens.
Alright, well, where's the sword?
Fuck if I know.
I love Nemo.
Okay, Nemo.
I don't know everything.
What do you know about anything? So, have you ever heard in the fight, when I made you run away from me?
No.
Have you ever heard that before?
Laughter?
Not just laughter, that in particular.
Yeah, actually, I have.
Wait, where?
It was closer to the Eternal Lights. There was a spot out by a lily pad that had. Sorry, I'm breaking. Give me a second.
I can see it. I can see it on your face.
Dude, Nemo's singing the song.
Out by the lily pad.
Nemo, will you just take me there? I don't know where these places are.
Fasten where it is.
Okay. Thanks for all the help. I hope that the rest of your future fights go well.
A real one, G.
You should get a new trick. That tidal wave thing is predictable.
I don't know. I heard a lot of people with it before.
You did. Hurt me with it, and then I fucking
I didn't even
ate
use
your
my
head.
special trick against you.
I don't know. He has the tidal wave, magic missile, true combo, right?
It's lucky
it's
I didn't submerge you in water.
Fel, I'd like to leave now.
Aw, you were just having fun.
Yep.
Oh, fell.
No, I'm not having fun.
Back again. So soon. Did you miss me?
No, but Fred had some questions, and this is again best place to get information.
Stop bothering Nemo.
I'm not bothering Nemo.
Oh? Who's this?
Look. It's Isaiah.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Lovely to meet you, Isaiah. My name's Finara.
Very nice to meet you as well.
So, tell me, what are you doing here?
I was in search of a information surrounding a certain type of creature that I fear I may have encountered recently. I can't get it out of my head.
Wow, that's very interesting. Have you ever considered fighting professionally?
I'll be honest, not in the slightest. I'm not really built for that sort of thing. Isaiah Stormfire, by the way, the published author, poet, bard.
Interesting, I haven't heard of you. You did quite well in your first fight. Even if it was against Nemo. Oh!
You're all good, buddy.
Give it a thought. There's a lot of money in it. Could fund your independent publishing.
Sure. Alright. Yeah. I'll give it a look.
What
Yes.
is that voice you're doing?
What
He's
voice?
He's been doing it since we got here.
Alright. Well. Always welcome back. Fel.
Just as I was leaving. Well, we gotta go back.
Yeah,
We're not
I believe
supposed
we
to
were
be
just
out.
leaving.
Goodbye.
Bye.
She just walks through the twiddling at a ring she's taken off her finger.
Well, your relationship with that woman is tenuous, and I can feel it in the air.
Well, we will talk about it later. Not in here. Not in this house.
Okay.
As I if Isaiah is not walking fast enough, Fel will kind of like, again, arm on shoulder, like try to like get him to go faster.
Ring.
Is Case camera lagging for anyone else?
Yeah.
No, it's just me.
Yeah.
Just you, loser.
Elbows out.
I different.
Sucks to suck, nerd. Oh. And he's...
Meow meow.
Oh.
Meow, meow.
You need to turn that shit off.
I forget that I have it on.
As you leave, Roger watches you guys sort of abruptly, like, exit the building. That was fast. That was fast.
Yeah, you want to start a fight.
I didn't.
Good job.
I think Phil misunderstood what I was looking for, and yes, we've. Seems I'm not going to find what I need to here. But thank you for allowing me entry. Anyway,
Yeah, I guess.
I did half enjoy the festivities.
Who'd you fight?
Nemo.
Oh, this. I fought this.
You bullied Nemo.
No, I fought this gargantuan
Equally
fish
so.
creature that filled the chasm with tsunami after tsunami,
Yeah,
and
that
I,
was tidal wave.
He did do the title.
and I invisibly,
Magic missile.
I invisibly attacked its mind, and it fell into the. It died.
That's cool, man.
And Nemo did do the tidal wave magic missile thing that he always does,
Oh.
and it worked about just as well as it did on you.
I'll be honest, man. You almost got me with that one.
It's almost got all of us, but
Yeah. Truly.
first tidal wave comes out of nowhere, and then
Yeah. Nemo's really dangerous. You gotta watch your back with him. Well,
all right, Isaiah, for your pride gets hurt. Let's get you home.
Thumbs up.
see ya.
See you, Roger.
So, homeboy.
No way.
The fuck? What the hell just came out of your mouth?
Did that Goliath just call you homeboy?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Don't, you know what? I'm not explaining it. We're just going home.
Alright.
It's a colloquial term. Colloquial term.
Giant kin. I'm not familiar with the language.
I don't either. I don't speak giant either. I ruined.
I do.
Speaking of which, now we move the camera to Rethny.
You motherfucker.
Rethny, this entire time you've been an excellent observer. As people have moved around in the Leodon household, you've stood around corners, observing. When everyone left to do their own thing, you trail a little bit, just a teeny weeny bit to observe where they might be going, what they might be doing. Always in the background of each of the plot threads we've pulled, Rethny has been there, watching with her big eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that Ravafina went to a tavern. To do what? Not exactly sure, but seems she left unrewarded and even more confused before going to Virian's shop. Isaiah has been snooping around, especially in the Leodon library, looking for information on a certain laughing creature. Fel has left multiple times for a similar area, somewhere off in the Bleeding Hearts Guild territory. And Azriel has mostly stuck to the Leodon estate, leaving for some shopping but coming back with nothing. Until you saw them snooping in the office room leaving something in the office that Rav talked to them in. But now, with all that, what would you like to do? You have your own plot thread that you can pull on, or you can be a watcher even more so.
I thought we killed that thing, man. What the fuck?
I also thought we fucking killed it. It's
It's
in rugby.
always here.
Lefty ate its fucking blood,
So
and now Lefty is turning
sorry.
into it.
I'm so sorry. I'm thinking about what me and Holland were talking about. I've been keeping Gray updated on what's been going on. Okay. Do you want to do it? I mean, if you want to.
That was sounded
I don't
so.
like this.
I
Where's it going?
sounded so sad. If you want to.
I thought it was
Well,
more
guess
shared.
what, baby? Guess what,
It
baby?
Want
Tea.
to?
It was.
Get the tiny table out in the tea set. We're having a tea party.
You guys are having a tea party? Is that the...
Wait. Okay. Basically, what we want is that since, like, Ezreal does see that Rethny is following them, Rethny's just gonna go out and just be like, hey. Oh my god. Great. Are we explaining just what we made the joke of, or are we going into... Yeah. Oh my god. We're going to explain it, and then we're going to execute it. Okay. I'll do the explaining. So essentially, Azriel comes out of the office that they assumed that Ra frequented, leaving the book for them to find, and sees Rethny, and Rethny's like, you know what, to stop you from snooping, because this is like the second time you've done this, tea time, and then we were like, Rethny's just gonna fucking grab Azriel and take them somewhere for tea.
Okay. Azrael, you're snooping lastly in your snoopage, you went for the bedrooms and you noticed finally that Rethny had been observing you. And as those big black eyes peer at you from around the corner, and then Rethny steps out, full large form, just kind of staring at you. Go ahead.
Hi. Hold up. Holy shit. I don't feel like I can hear Blue, but she's losing her fucking mind. Hold on.
Campaign derailed by a dog.
It's happened more than once.
You hear that?
She's going crazy.
Nyx has interrupted D&D quite a few times.
Probably lucky the we can't hear it, babe. We can't. But I was originally gonna come in here and yell water. Water. The original joke I was gonna have going is that Rethny was gonna be passed out, dried up in the
Oh
library.
no, not the fucking SpongeBob.
It's fucking like Rethny breathes out this the fucking like cartoon dust.
Yeah. You blow on her, she's just gone. Okay, I've gotten the dog to stop yelling. I'm taking it Rethny just kind of stopped them before they went back into their fucking room. Yeah.
Pretty much. Pops out and goes, hi.
Hi. Can I help you? This is more like I'm going to help you. You need to come with me. And so she'll take their arm and wrap it around hers.
Ezreal, are you resisting this tug in any way?
I mean, they're definitely freaked out, but because they're not used to just being grabbed. But I would say they're gonna resist it because where they are.
Gotcha. Rethny, where do you drag Azrael off to?
I think I'm gonna find like a little like common area that is used mostly used for like sitting down with some tea.
Okay, yeah. Pretty easy. It's another room adjacent to, like, the dining room. It's meant for more leisurely. It has more windows. Rowan. It's like every time I describe something, Rowan just go, with the tongue. Can't hear you.
No, because I thought you were still talking. No one enough to you, but I ain't doing shit.
Alright. You enter the tea room, and, I'm assuming you're asking for tea to be made. Or are you gonna do it yourself?
I was gonna make it, yeah.
Go for it. What kind of tea you making?
I am making some. Stop! I am making some chamomile tea. With some honey, and a dash of mint.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
I'm getting real sick and tired of you two up there in the fucking corner of my screen.
Oh my god!
Rav and Phil.
No.
Waving your finger at me. Yeah. After about probably a few minutes, you've begun. The tea has begun to steep. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Very
shall
nice,
save
Rob.
tea now.
Very cool. Oh my god, it's Nemo.
We better not be. I hate that dude.
Yo!
Once you've poured the tea for each other and you sit down, what are you guys doing?
Rethny's gonna take like the first little sippy of the tea. And she's gonna go, yum. And you look up. I'm so sorry, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Oh my god.
I'm squeezing the squeezy thing and then my pinky cramp.
It's
and I
fucking
can't
bad.
get it out.
But
How got it for me?
Tell it
oh.
I did legally buy it from Goodwill.
Legally by Goodwill.
is.
Oh my god.
Weren't you the one that hated the avocado bit the most?
Yeah, but I saw it and I was like, aw, it reminds me of Rowan, so I bought it.
Thought it.
For Rowan.
Yeah, just for the record, back in season 1 Concordis it's like a little avocado thing with like a squishy ball in the center, and I squeezed it really hard during one of our like stressful sessions and it
blew up.
burst.
Oh
Until we found another one.
Aw.
It wasn't just during that stressful situation. It was anytime Rowan found anything stressful at all during D&D.
And
That
it's very
avocado-
audible through the mic, so I just go.
I wonder if it'll still do
Does this noise?
That
It still makes the
A
noise.
little
I think,
bit.
I think Rowan has a better mic setup.
Yeah.
the avocado
Yeah.
Was worn to shit by the time it blew up.
Oh my god.
Alright, enjoy your chamomile tea with mint lemon.
Yeah. Yeah, so she takes a sip and she looks up at Ezra and she goes, "Did you find anything interesting?"
They're gonna stop. They've got their own little cup set up. They were like mid sip, and they're gonna set it down. And like you can kind of tell by looking at them, they're debating like playing it off, but like they know they've been caught. Just a few books, nothing out of the ordinary that wouldn't be in an office.
Do you do snooping often with people you stay with?
I mean, I was told I could have free range, so why not check out where I'm staying?
A personal office, though.
They're gonna kind of shrug. Free range is free range. How do you know, Rov? Why are you here? And they're really bad with tone in the sense of it probably sounds mean, but you can tell by their body language that they're like relaxed and they're asking to ask.
Brittany kind of shrugs like with Azrael about like the first sentence about free range and all that, and then she tilts her head and she takes another sip. I met Rav when they were adventuring on my island. We have stuck together since then.
So you're close?
I would think so, yeah.
They're not really gonna say anything. They're just gonna kind of nod and take another sip from the tea.
So, your job is bounty hunting. Do you like it?
It's honestly just the easiest money. I do it out of necessity. There's nothing really. I'm more neutral than anything.
I won't disagree that money is good to come out of it, but I don't think I could do it personally. Would you like to have a different job?
You ask like you've got something to offer. Why do you ask? It's just something I know how to do, so I do it.
I wouldn't per se be offering a different job, but adventuring is kind of the same thing with traveling all over and, killing beasts and all that and getting rewarded with money. But it's a lot slower. As Rob explained before, it could be months before you get paid anything. But it's, I want to say, more fun, and you get to meet cool people and, have friends around instead of doing it alone. And she kind of looks down at her cup when she says alone and kind of swirls it around.
They're gonna watch Rethne do this and kind of look at their own cup for a second, before looking back up at her. I'll think about it. But
Dang it!
oh,
Go.
no, you go. Go.
No, you go. You go. You go.
No, Pookie, you go. I didn't really have much to say.
I'm already shaking from how much I'm fucking talking, dude. I can't do this shit. Okay. I feel like you're gonna say some shit that's gonna make me fucking go cray cray. Okay. Bethany will kind of like their Azzy says that they'll think about it. She'll kind of like look up from a cup and give him like a small smile. And then take another sip.
But say they're gonna I mean, obviously they've taken their mask off, but they're also going to set their glasses off to the side now too, and get like a bit more comfortable. But they're not really going to say much.
Alright. With that, is there anything else
yeah.
you'd like to do?
I think maybe like the rest of like the questions Rethny is probably gonna ask is gonna be like the getting to know you questions and stuff like that. What's your favorite color, baby girl?
I'm just imagining them both like sitting there, kind of like quiet, drinking their tea. Just so, what's your favorite color? Oh my god.
What's Rethny and Azriel's favorite color?
So Asriel's is green.
Green.
Rethny is like it's the color. It's like a coral pink, like the color of coral.
Very nice. Very nice. Alright. With that, as time passes on, Isaiah and Fel, you have your information. You've left your little bunker, the MFC. What are you doing now?
I'll be honest, Isaiah's a little defeated. This world is unknown to him in a lot of ways, and so he feels like he's kind of lost.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's just going to return to what he knows, and is going to look for research someone who might know about what it was, rather than what it was itself.
Okay.
An archmage who maybe has some less than positive rumors surrounding them. Maybe they're dabbling in the summoning of abyssal devils and stuff like that.
Okay.
I go home.
You're going home?
I'm going back to the Leodon State.
Alright. Isaiah, where are you searching for this information? Are you also going back to the Leodon estate?
Probably at the Leodon estate, yeah.
Alright. And what so happens to be the best time to return to the Leodon estate than when Ravafina is at the gate? Ravafina, you see the two figures, not surprisingly, away from the Leodon estate, Fel and Isaiah, standing outside.
Just going for a stroll.
Yes. Hi, Rav. Just needed some air.
Some air.
Yep, didn't leave. We're here though.
I'm behind Isaiah.
Didn't go more than like 50 feet outside the walls. We were here the whole time.
Rob's eyes will kind of shift over to Fel. Ah. Got it. Well, did you get any big wins on your fresh air walk?
I don't know what you mean.
I mean, if you went, at least you should have won, right?
You behind Isaiah, you just NEMO.
Oh, Nemo. I thought you said M.
Kind of like,
and I was like,
place her head, her hands are gonna drag it down, and it's just like. Did you? Isaiah, I just want you to be honest with me. Did you win?
Yes, okay, I'm caught. Yes, I beat the fucking fish person in the one-on-one combat.
As long as you won. You know, I'm not a huge fan of that place because I really don't like the woman who's in charge of it. She's weird. Like,
Her
weird,
and
weird.
Phil have something going on, and we need to talk about it.
Mm.
It's not in my way you probably think.
they definitely do have something going on, but it's more in the instance of she's power hungry and will do anything to wrap her hand around someone else's mind and choices, and Fel was a strong young magic user at one point, so...
At one point.
Gee. Okay. Well, if it's any consolation, I don't really plan on going back. So
It's really... I used to go when me and Phil were younger just to watch Fel fight. But I just don't like the atmosphere in there.
she did invite me to participate.
It's more professional now, which is weird.
Yeah, but every time that I went in there, people thought I was stupid because I couldn't use magic.
Yeah.
You can't use magic, Rovina.
Well, not then.
I have some sort of magic now, but I can't... I can cast a basic mage hand, and I can do my little echoes, but that's about it.
He did cast a mage hand at the door, which was...
Yeah. But I wasn't able to catch a mage hand until well into my 80s. So it was... I just didn't...
80s.
Isaiah, we've
Wrong
had
with
this
you.
conversation.
Sorry, it's just everything. I can't keep it straight.
We're both over 100 years old, say.
I believe that. I believe Rov. I don't believe you.
Really?
Not even in the slightest.
But it was strange. Most of my family has some sort of magical connection, and I just didn't really have one.
Does Theron have a magical connection?
It's better than me, not by a lot.
He can cast, like, Booming Blade.
Ooh, mage.
He can sometimes Booming Blade instead of doing his normal slash maneuvers, but...
Yeah, Rob has the weakest arcane connection out of her whole family.
Oh, unfortunate.
Thanks, Isaiah. That really felt heartwarming to hear.
Yeah. That was...
Rob was like, pushing open the gate. Like, it's like...
What next?
I have papers to drop off. I looked through some of the reports on your Laughing Man. Couldn't find anything directly related to that, but I found a bunch of people that went missing a few months ago. Something about a carousel. They all went to, like, some festival.
Okay.
Heard about that one as well.
Okay. Rov, how do I say this? That is really boring.
Yeah.
I anticipated maybe if you, as an adventuring part, like there would be triumphs and maybe some.
I have a better idea on where my dad is, and apparently some super magical thing is preventing us from zoning out on him.
This is interesting. When do you are we to pursue this in any manner?
I can't. My mother's returning in 2 days, and apparently I have a bunch of duties to portray to. Yeah. But I think if worst thing comes to worst, I can probably offer you guys a pretty hefty payday and send some of you guys to go search it out.
Back to the boring.
When you're
Yeah, thank you.
if you're head of the Leodon estate, don't you hold the majority power then?
I do. And by proxy, I could leave at any point that I wanted, but if I leave for a period of time that is probably more than a few weeks, with no sort of rule in stating my leave and what to do in every single situation, it goes not well.
Why not immediately crown Elven?
One is... Rob is, like, ushering you guys into the gate. So she's, like, literally just holding the gate at this point, like, talking to you guys.
Well, Fel like, walks in as he's talking.
Rob will start to close the gate once they're both in. Owen isn't Elwyn's intelligent. Elwyn also, I think, has a little bit more aspirations than I do. I didn't really have a dream to commence. I just didn't want to be the head of a household.
I remember that.
Why don't you want it, Rob?
You know,
I feel like that's something that anyone would want. Head of the noble family of a town, you have power, money, notoriety.
yep, and very, very, very little freedom. For all that power that gets me, I'm stuck in this house every single day. My one escape is to travel down the countryside to someone else's huge fucking estate and to sit around and talk about war meetings that are never going to actually happen and discuss trade routes.
Rob, see, this is the thing, right? Is that I feel like you maybe are more invested in the more boring aspects of your noblehood. Maybe you hire someone else to do this for you and you can do whatever you want.
I did meet a bugbear who is very good at filing. I think he'd be wonderful to
Yes.
hire and reorganize things.
And now you never have to worry about it again.
I also am terrified of that entire estate, that area. It was like a tavern, but when I went in, I was like she's closing, locking the gate up and stuff. She's like, and when I went in, it was definitely not actually a tavern. It was more just like, it was like a cafe. Like everyone was just existing. Like no one seemed to actually want to be there nor need to be. They just were there.
Okay, I don't really know what that means, but it sounds like it made you uncomfortable and a sort of...
It was like weird. You know, the atmosphere was heavy. But like not in like a everybody hates you kind of heavy, in more like a half of them didn't feel real kind of heavy.
Alright. And this is where you found the information about your father.
Yes, apparently he threw quite a rager.
Really? I didn't know he drank.
I also didn't know that he drank, at least not heavily. Like I've seen him have a glass here and there, but
I mean,
he's
from my
usually-
experience with nobles and royalty in general, they do indulge from time to time.
Well,
And often get violent.
my father is one of those men who's kind of like, my body is a temple kind of guy. Like, he eats well, exercises every day, tries to stay on top of things. So, like, he'll have a glass every so often, but, like, him and my mother don't even sleep in the same room anymore, and they haven't for however knows long. I think since my last brother was born.
It's deeply saddening.
I think they love each other, but I think their marriage is now kind of at the point where they're both like, we're in our 300 to 400s, and we're trying to just...
They don't keep it alive, no spice of life.
I wouldn't know, and that's not something I particularly asked them. They sit on two opposite ends of the dining room table. I mean, they talk. I can tell there's no tension between them, but...
Maybe I'll get a better understanding when I meet your mother.
You will understand probably immediately, I would
Do I
guess.
need to be there? Please tell me I don't need to be there.
Realistically, I don't think... I think I should probably have Rethny there. I think Mom will enjoy Rethny. There's not a whole lot of water genasi around here. She'll probably like Isaiah, because he's...
You say... So I meant to ask. Rethny is a water genasi.
Yes.
Are they from the plane of water?
Some are.
Would know. I know that she's from Moonset Isle. Past that, not really sure. They
No,
seem
some
to have
are.
some troubling things going on in the water, and I don't want to overstep my boundaries.
Got it. I meant to ask because, just wondering.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's probably a rusty question.
Um,
I don't want the responsibility of being in charge of people, and I still have that responsibility. So it's, at this point I've run away from it for enough years to, I guess, say that I've had, like, some sort of fun. Also, with...
So what, your mother returns and you are condemned to a life of boredom?
Yeah, basically. Had way
And
more
you're
fun
just
when
gonna
I was
do
on the
that?
water. I don't really have a whole lot of other options.
Why not leave?
I already did that once.
Why not do it again?
Because I think if I leave this time, there will be serious consequences instead of just bounties and such.
What do you mean you won't be here? What kind of consequences would follow you?
My mother
Well,
is...
last time, she did send me and Theron to go fetch her. As you sort of enter the building and talk, Elwyn is like rearing close behind. Mother was quite set on having her firstborn take head of house.
She's very, follows a lot of... What's that called? Tradition. She's very traditional.
She's very traditional.
Well, if you don't want to, just say no. Like,
I did that once too. Actually did that a few times.
Yes, Mother just chastised her and told her the importance of upholding a tradition, or talking about how important it was that the firstborn and first woman of the Leodon house take head of house.
maybe I'll talk to her.
Good. Again, if we had Father here, it'd be a lot easier to talk to her, but he is...
Speaking of, do you know anything about Rabbit Glade?
Weird intersection to that, but I mean, Rabbit Glade is just a small town off... I mean, it's the closest town to us in Solent. I mean, if you look
Apparently, Dad threw a rager at a tavern.
Okay, very unlike him.
Went to get me a gift in Rabbit Glade, and is now somewhere past Rabbit Glade in the mountains with some magical barrier thing that even Virion could not push through.
I did. Now that you mention it, I do remember him talking about getting you a... He was talking about how he knew you would be upset that you were forced home because of your duties, and wanted to smooth it over by getting you something. But I didn't think... I thought he was talking about, like, a ring or a necklace, not something he'd be actively leaving Glassridge for. That was months ago, though.
Right. Well, apparently he's still in Rabbit Glade with some weird-ass magical thing
That's
keeping
terrifying.
anyone from finding him. Which... He was also more of the martial kind of guy than an arcane guy, so I don't think this is his magic.
That means you're going to go find him, right?
If I can convince Mother to maybe
Screw
postpone
Mother, do
a
it
bit.
now.
If I leave now
Now
and
you're talking.
come back, the consequences of my actions will be severe.
Ravafina. Father has been missing for a while. You know where he is, or at least the route to him. And between the three of us siblings, you're the only one with adventuring experience. I mean, I could go out there looking for him myself. Might turn up dead.
Please, Robert, please, I need material for my book. It sounds like a good idea.
I need to find Rethne. I need to give Azrael their papers. And I will ask them what their... I mean, Azrael, of course, doesn't have to accompany us, but if we leave, I don't think it's fitting for them to stay. So I'd have to kick them out effectively, which might be a little rude.
I'll tell you what,
but-
though. I do have money. If you need more hands, I can help you hire them. In fact, you'll probably need... Yeah, you're pretty broke right now. You'll probably need quite a lot of coin to get traveling that far.
Yeah, I have like 100 gold that I found under my bed frame when we got back.
Well, I have coin.
Inheritance is not that easy to get to, Isaiah, okay?
Here, I'll be back.
Back up.
Let me go fetch some things.
It's just,
and,
it's just
I'll be
like
back.
5,000 farmers' salaries underneath your bed.
And Elwyn gets up and goes to find coin while I go to piss.
Alright, I will go find... Or I'll continue. Wait, I never removed my money from season 1, so I still have 1,300 gold.
Don't know if you have 1K. You won't be straight up.
Yeah, let me remove that. I do have 5 silver pieces. Oh no, that's my platinum! Oh, I lost my platinum pieces. That was so...
Bye.
Ugh.
How much money do I have? Not much. I got some. My books are doing okay.
Nice. Yeah, Rav will turn to Isaiah really quickly, and I'll talk to, like I said, talk to Rethne and Azrael, get them their papers and stuff, and then it's a difficult situation because I definitely need to find him.
A trepidatious adventure in search of a long-lost father. It's a perfect story.
I don't think he's that long lost. I think it's only been a few months.
Well, you put a little into it.
Right. Sure.
Horrific creatures slain in the path, and we saved your father from the clutches of some evil maniac. It's the perfect combination.
Yeah, but I just really don't know why some evil maniac would want my father. I mean, like, he's a cool guy, and he has some power in the social world, I guess, but not by much.
Okay, I guess if
He was a-
maybe he's just like out there, then I'll.
He's also,
Pick one up.
he's a tactical genius, very well, military-wise credited. So I guess maybe they're wanting, like, someone to help them decide a good plan to invade something. It's good to keep him around.
If he is such a tactical mastermind, it would. I do imagine it'd be odd for him to act outside of his head.
Yes. And then he was drunk before this. Which, like you said, it's not crazy for someone of a higher power to indulge in a lot of alcohol. It's not crazy for anyone to indulge in a lot of alcohol. But he's kind of a weird exception to that. I think I see my mother drink more than I see my father, and she also doesn't really drink.
When I was like,
He
some
was
people drink more than
magically-
others. Like, fellas are actually like, whoa.
Maybe he was magically influenced.
Maybe. I'm sure that'd be a much cooler story than him just getting really drunk and starting an adventure.
Oh, he's going off the deep end, and we're gonna find him in the gutter somewhere.
Elwyn slowly returns with a pretty hefty sack around his waist. You can hear the jangle of coin.
Jingle, jingle.
I've collected quite a lot here.
Muscle.
7,000 gold.
Woohoo! Yahoo!
That'll buy Ez. That'll buy Ezzy.
Oh, shit, I forgot.
It'll definitely buy Isaiah, who's been bought for less.
I don't think Isaiah needs to be bought. It seems like Isaiah is the one who
My
primarily wants
services
to
are
go.
free of charge, Rafida. You know that.
This will... To be fair,
Felt like
this
side
is- I mean, you'll need to buy camels, you'll need to buy provisions.
Just take
you'll need
Bill.
to- That's for you, Rav. Your
Oh,
compatriots
yes,
still
of
need
course. They'll probably
private
also
creatures.
want. Sorry.
But,
Forgot.
you'll need camels, you'll need provisions, you'll need quite a lot.
And also to pay off. Well, yeah.
you'll-
Okay.
Huh?
Nothing, just doing math in my
Um,
head.
and of course hire some hands if you need. So that's what I can provide. That's what I can spare.
Take it and I'll add into my thing so I can do the math.
But I think you should do this.
You'll have to talk to Mother and explain that I am coming back.
That's fine.
This isn't a permanent one.
I can handle Mother.
Tell her I'll do whatever it is she needs when we get back.
I'll spin her a glorious tale about our adventures. I'm sure she'll enjoy it.
Oh, I'm sure she will.
I'm so sure she'll be happy that really.
Right. We still need to get Rethny and Azrael, and of course Azrael doesn't. Yeah, I bet we could. Maybe Rethny has talked to them or something. Maybe I can convince them for less than 1,000, but seeing as the last payout was supposed to be like what? Like 5,000-ish?
That was for 2 people.
Yes, I believe I was taking 1,500 as my portion of the 5,000.
You know,
I should have
They're
got
all
you a bounty
awesome.
license then too, shouldn't I?
Oh well, it wasn't. It was more like I wasn't necessarily. I'm not like a license. I'm not going to do it again.
Okay.
And Ezra was more like paying me under,
the
like
table.
after the fact. After.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
It's okay, I'm not a snitch.
You
I
know-
won't tell.
In all honesty, this conversation might go really, really easy. Rethny might have.
Rob's gonna just start walking. The spell's talking. Rob's gonna start walking and looking for Rethny.
Rethny might have either done one of 2 things: had a really nice conversation, or threatened to eat them.
Well, seeing as the only 2 that stayed in the house, hopefully it's.
You come
Yeah.
into the tea room. Azrael is dead.
Yeah, Rob's like fucking opening doors, like, damn, where are they?
As just felt, yeah, just as much as I stayed in the house. That's
Sorry, I thought Casey.
No,
was
my
like,
bad. I'm talking to Michael.
Michael, it's your birthday today.
Ice cream's on its way.
Yeah, you kind of search the estate for a second. You look in their rooms and they're not there, and you're like, oh shit. And then you check the study, not there. Kitchen, not there. And then you see off to the side of the dining room kitchen area, there's a nice little tea room. And you do see some tea that's relatively still warm, sitting there. Azrael, who seems to have been having a mild allergic reaction to either the mint or chamomile tea, and Rethny.
Rob will kind of walk up behind them and. Oh. I see. Tea
option 1.
time.
We'll see if Holland is back, who was also having an allergic reaction.
Yeah, Holland is having a lunch reaction.
Yeah.
What the fuck they put in their body now?
Yeah, they said that they were
Something
itchy.
Something with dairy. It's gotta.
It's
No, if it
always
was-
something with dairy.
If it's something with dairy, Holland's on the toilet,
Okay, dude.
not
this
having
is-
an allergic reaction.
That's alright. We'll be ending here soon.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Russell turned towards Rob. It's just smile and she'll wave. We're having tea.
I see that. Rethny, how would you feel about another adventure? Just a small one, but another one.
Oh, get me out of this damn house.
Right. Azrael, once your reactions come down, you can let me know your answer as well. Of course, you're invited, and we can probably give you some sort of payment for your time. Right. Also, and Rob will take the paper out and just kind of slide it on the table in front of Azrael. Congrats on being a licensed bounty hunter.
Paper looks no different than when you had sent it off with Ravafina, but it has a cool little seal on it, a little stamp, a few signatures from a person you don't know. But with that, the opportunity of adventure on the horizon. Our party finally breaking away from the chains of the Leodon estate, and perhaps exploring more of Solon than just Glass Ridge. We will end our session there.
Get me out of here!
Release me!
Release me! Release!
I can't wait to talk to your mom.
So
It's gonna be so cool. I'm gonna be so cool for your mom.
Dude, if I was like out of there, this Rob's mom is
I don't know exactly what fucking Rob's mom was gonna think of Redney.